Hi. My scripture lesson today is entitled, Thank You, Palmer, for Your Example. And the scripture lesson is from Proverbs 25:16. If you have found honey, eat only enough for you, or else having too much, you will vomit it. Pretty earthy, huh? As a pastor in my first congregation, I had a wonderful gentleman named Palmer in my church who was in his late 90s. Palmer and I would get together every couple of weeks, or at least monthly, and we would play cribbage and have one tiny glass of sherry and ginger ale. His Baptist housekeeper would harangue us for the evils of drinking. And Palmer would roll his eyes, turn to me and say, "That is another example of all things in moderation." He would go on and talk at length about how moderation and was a commitment in his life. And he credited moderation as a foundational reason he was living so long. He didn't just live a long life, but also an active one as well. Palmer played golf until he was 96 years old. He was always in great shape. Moderation was a theme in his life. I knew Palmer well, and his commitment to moderation was a meaningful part of his professional life. He owned his own hardware stores until he gave the businesses to his sons, and he was a driven person who wanted his businesses to expand. But he was extremely careful not to overextend himself, putting his businesses at risk. He was just as careful with his personal finances. Because my wife and I were just starting out in life, Palmer felt it was important to coach me up in the ways of life. And he would encourage us to have just one credit card and rarely, if ever, run a bill that couldn't be paid back each month. He was very specific with me about living a moderate life. So I always had enough money in the bank because rainy days are just around the corner. All the while, beating my rear end in cribbage. The only thing that man wasn't moderate about was driving me hard and beating me in cards. Living a moderate life is not easy. It takes a personal commitment, and one shared by everyone in your household. A moderate lifestyle affects what and how we eat, what we drink, how we spend our money, and any number of other actions. The blessing of a moderate lifestyle makes for a physically healthier life. Palmer proved the physical benefits. It also helps us mentally and spiritually. It is stressful to eat poorly, drink too much, and remain financially overextended. Moderation provides a sense of inner peace. It leaves room for the spirit to dwell in a more peaceful environment within your soul. I wish I had lived the moderate life as well as Palmer. I pray you are able to live a moderate lifestyle and experience the peace it provides.